Hey everyone, it's Carissa Wiley at sprinkledwithglitter.com. Thanks for joining me today. Today I am sharing 2 cards that were created with one product suite. These are brand new products from Altenew, and I did want to mention that this video is part of a video hop happening today to celebrate this brand new April release from Altenew, and you're going to want to check out all the details for that video hop in the YouTube description below. There are prizes and lots of inspiration, so be sure to click that more button to see all of the information in the YouTube description below. Now for today's card, I'm using the brand new One Go Friendship Flowers. You can see that this is comprised of a stamp set as well as a stencil set, and the stamp and the die are a one-piece item. So you can stamp all of the florals and die cut them all in one go, which is where it gets its name from. So I'm gonna do just that. You'll notice because this is a large stamp, I'm actually pulling on the acetate sheet, not the stamp itself. I'm grabbing the stamp, but most of the pressure as I pull is going onto that acetate sheet, and that keeps this large stamp from getting pulled and stretched out too much. I'm mounting some white paper in my Stamp Wheel 2.0, and I have that stamp on the flip plate. I'm going to ink it up with my favorite black ink. This is the Obsidian Pigment ink from Altenew, and it stamps so beautifully. It's also perfect for embossing, and I love it for sentiments. So I decided to use it today because I wanted that nice, bold black outline. Once I've inked up my stamp, I'm going to flip over my flip plate and stamp that onto the white cardstock, and you can see I have a beautiful result. And I'll gently remove that from the Stamp Wheel photopolymer grip mat that's included with that Stamp Wheel 2.0. And then I'm going to add some clear embossing powder over all of these stamped images. This is going to give me a raised kind of glossy black image. It makes it so dark and so rich, but it also ensures that this pigment ink is completely sealed, so I don't have to worry about dry time. Once my heat tool is hot, I'm going to heat these images from the backside. And at first, this can feel like it's taking a little bit longer, but as the embossing powder begins to melt, you'll see that this moves very quickly, and I have that beautiful, shiny black image. We're going to do this same treatment on the sentiments today, so you'll see this more in action. Now, once all of these floral images are heat embossed, I can go ahead and place this onto my 9x12 grip mat and get started with my stenciling. This cardstock was slightly warped from the embossing, so I'm starting at the bottom and pressing this down onto the 9x12 grip mat to make sure it's nice and flat before I place my stencils down. Keep in mind there is a stencil guide included in the packaging for this product suite, so you'll want to check that out for a lot of color inspiration, and it also is helpful in guiding you of which stencil colors in which part of the florals and that sort of thing. So I'm starting out with stencil number 1, and for this I am going to blend with a large blending brush, and I'm using Frosty Pink ink. Now, I will tell you that there are several floral images that you get with this One Go stamp and die and stencil set. So you can see there's 4 clusters here, and that means that I'll get more than one card out of this, which I really appreciate. Now for stencil number 2, I'm using Pink Pearl. Again, I'm using a large ink blending brush. You can see I'm creating some areas that are darker than others and some that are lighter. I'm doing this intentionally to give a little more variation to my blending overall. Now, once I'm done with stencil number 2, I'm going to wipe that up and remove it, and I'll add stencil number 3. Now, stencil number 3 has some floral centers, and so I'm using Golden Honeycomb for that. And it also has some more detail pieces on these florals. So I'm switching over to a mini ink blending brush, and I'm using Coral Bliss, which is a little bit darker pink, to color in those shaded areas of the florals. Again, you'll notice with my ink blending that I'm going a little heavier in some places and a little lighter in other places. And then I came in with Golden Honeycomb around the edges of some of these florals to kind of push it towards that orangey, corally color. So I didn't do it on all of them, just a few of them. And now I'm moving on to the next stencil. Again, we have some more floral centers, so I'm using the Golden Honeycomb for that. And then for the greenery, I'm going to use Misty Sage. Again, I'm adding more color towards the base of the leaves and kind of allowing this to fade out towards the tips of the leaves. I wouldn't say that it's totally completely white at the tips, but it is a much lighter blend at the tips of the leaves than it is at the base of the leaves. Now you'll notice on this particular stencil, there is an area with an etched line that's kind of divided off from the rest of the greenery, and that's to color in these leaves down here. So you just kind of shift it over and then you can add your color to those leaves as well. I'm positioning the next stencil and I wanted to go a little bit darker in the floral centers for this stencil. So I'm using some orange cream. It's kind of the darker shadow pieces of some of those larger floral centers and then the little floral centers of those smaller buds there. And then for the green, I'm using green opal. This is a beautiful color combination. I've got lots of pinks and greens, which if you know me, I love a good pink and green color combination. And depending on the types of greens that you use, you can really change up the way that it looked. If I wanted it to look a little less traditional and a little more modern, I could have gone with a more yellow green than this true green here. Or if I wanted it to feel a little softer, I could have gone with a lighter, sagier green, like maybe a pistachio or something like that. So that completes all of the stenciling for these floral images. Now I'm going to roll this away from my grip mat and I'm going to use the one-piece die set to cut all of these floral images at once. I love this because I get so much done in such a small amount of time, and I have plenty of images for multiple card projects, or if I wanted to create one really like over-the-top card project, I could do that as well. Now I have another piece of white cardstock in my Stamp Wheel 2.0, and I'm inking up those same florals with the evening gray color of ink from Altenew, and I'm going to stamp that onto this cardstock. This stencil set has a really unique stencil. It's the last one in the stencils. I don't know if it's like 4 or 5 or 6. I can't remember. I've lost count. But you'll see it in the stencil guide. And it colors in the background around these florals. And so I decided to go ahead and stamp these florals in evening gray. And now I'm blending with mint chalk. I'm using a large blending brush for this, and I'm leaving kind of a highlight area in the middle. And then I'm going to come in around the edges with Teal Tempest. Again, using a large ink blending brush and bringing in the darker color towards the edges of this piece. Now here's where I kind of came into a little dilemma about this card, and here is the weird thing. When I took this out of the stencil and I trimmed this down with my trimmer, it was kind of a weird size. I should have probably done this on a 5x7 piece of cardstock, but I didn't. So here I'm trimming along the edge of the background. Now this cuts off the little floral pieces that hang off the side, which I think is so cool and just a unique characteristic. But at this point I was already in. And so I ended up making a very unique card size for the finished card project. I have a couple of those floral images kind of creating a wreath in the center of that background. And I'm stamping the hug sentiment again in that obsidian pigment ink, covering it with some clear embossing powder and then heating that from the back side to create this shiny, beautiful, dark black sentiment for my card project. Now at this point, I really wanted to have those florals continue off of the background. So I have a piece of cardstock that measures 6.5 inches by 5 inches. The background piece that's in the center, I'm using that to help me line up my stamp again over this larger piece of cardstock so that those florals can kind of continue off of the background. Some people call this like spotlight stamping, and there probably was an easier way to do this, but honestly, this is how it came to be. And sometimes that's just how crafting is. So I'm going to ink that up again in evening gray and stamp it onto this piece of cardstock. So my finished card size for this card project ended up being 5 inches by 6.5 inches. It's not a common card size. It's a size I totally made up out of necessity, but the good news is that this card will still fit in a 5x7 envelope, so it didn't bother me too much. I cut a couple additional layers of the sentiment from some white cardstock. I added some liquid glue to the front, and now I'm adding that stamped piece to the front to give it a little dimension. Now, as I was putting this card together, I really felt like I wanted something metallic on this card, but I didn't want it to be too over the top. So I'm taking a two-way glue pen. This is a glue pen that dries tacky when it dries, and I kind of went around the edge of my piece with that two-way glue pen. Then I allowed it to dry, and I grabbed some of the champagne hot foil from Altenew, and I'm pressing that onto the dried glue, which is a little bit tacky. That's allowing some of that foil to transfer onto that glue line. You can see it's a very kind of rough and uneven look, but it gave just a little bit of shine to the edge of this piece. Now, I also wanted to add some splatter, but I wanted to do it with a lot of control. And so I'm using some fine liner pens from Altenew. I think this is the 0.5 size to draw in my own black splatter. Then I'll take that kind of wreath situation that I made with my floral pieces and adhere it to the center of my card with some foam adhesive. And then I added the card front onto the card base using some foam adhesive again. Of course, you could skip the foam adhesive, but I like dimension on my cards, and overall, this wasn't a super thick card. I adhered my sentiment and I stamped a little wishing you peace and comfort sentiment strip to place below the hugs, and that is card number 1. Even though it's a weird size, I love the way it turned out. So for card number 2, I'm not going to show you the entire process because much of it's the same, but I'm going to make an A2 size card. And I'm using one of the nesting arches from Altenew to stamp that One Go Friendship Flowers again. And I'm using that same stencil to ink the background around these floral images. I'm using the mint chalk ink again as my base layer and coming around the edges with the teal tempest to add a little bit of drama. Now, once I finish this off, I'm going to wipe up the stencil and remove it from my arch, and you'll see this beautiful stenciled background around those florals. I stamped my card base again with the One Go Friendship Floral stamp set, and I added one of those stenciled floral images on the edge of the arch, and I finished the card off with a sentiment, some black faux splatter, and finally, I added a little bit of shine to both cards with the crystal moonlight sequins from Altenew. You can see I have that foiled border on the edge of the arch as well. And with just one stamping and one stenciling, I was able to create 2 cards, and I even had a small floral piece left over, which could be used to decorate the inside of the card. So I have an A2 size card and just under a 5x7 card here, 6.5 by 5 inches. It will still fit in that 5x7 envelope. Both of them featuring the new One Go Friendship Flowers from Altenew. I absolutely love this set, and I love that stencil that's included to stencil the background, which I think makes this really unique. Be sure to let me know in the comments below which of these 2 cards is your favorite, and have you ever made a card that's just a weird size? Because that's what I did today. Now, don't forget that this video is a part of a video hop celebrating Altenew's brand new April 2026 release, and I will have all of the information on this video hop in the YouTube description below. Also in the YouTube description, you'll find links to the products featured in these projects. So if you're looking for something in particular, be sure you check there. I've also linked some of my other favorites from this new April 2026 release from Altenew. So if you want to check out more of the release, be sure to click below. As always, I want to say thank you so much for stopping by and hanging out with me today. I hope you enjoyed these projects, and I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to give this video a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notifications here so you don't miss any of my paper crafting, card making, and live stream video tutorials. I hope you found a little joy, a little light, and a little inspiration here today. Thanks again for joining me, and until next time, I hope you have a fabulous day. Hey, thanks for sticking around to the very end. You know, if you've made it this far, you are one of my favorites. To subscribe to my channel, go ahead and click the button on the left side of the screen. And here's a couple more video tutorials I thought you might enjoy.